Have you ever been around with negative people? And how does that make you feel? Believe it or not, negative people tends to get your attention and your energy to be at the same level as they are. A long time ago, I read this quote and it says that you have to program your mind before your mind gets programmed. And it really hits me hard because think about this. Think about every single time when you want to do something, you want to accomplish a goal. Now, if you are surrounded yourself with positive people, most likely you're gonna end up being positive and reach your goal. But once you start to hang around with negative people, they just suck and drain that energy of yours to be at the same level as them. And the easy way out of any kinds of goal setting is to make excuses so that you can use that opportunity in order for you to forfeit going after your goals and your dreams. Now, years ago, I wanted to do something profound, and that is to write a book. Now, when I first started writing my book, I was very positive. I even set goals and schedule for me when to write and stuff like that. And then the more that I talked to other people, especially people who started with their writing journey, and the next thing I know is they start giving excuses here and there. They said, oh, it's hard to write. You really have to put away some time for yourself, some personal time, and having a full-time job is very hard for them to concentrate. And when I started out with my writing journey, it was the same way. I had to figure out how can I get home from my 9-to-5 job and then saving that extra time so that I can program myself to sit there and start writing. And it's difficult, don't get me wrong. It's extremely difficult to have that discipline. And so I started writing, and there will be times where I just get this mental writing block and cannot continue. And then when I call up a buddy of mine and said, hey, I'm struggling at this moment, I can't seem to get my mind focused on what are some of the tips that you can give me. And instead of giving me positive tips and positive energy, that particular person kept on saying, yeah, that's what I told you. It's really hard to become a writer. And if you're not gonna put in this extra time of yours, then let go of your dreams. And it's kind of frustrating to hear that. But when you start hearing that a few times, and then the next thing you know, you're like, oh, you know what, that person is right. That's why he didn't accomplish his dream as a writer. So maybe who am I as a writer anyway? I'm not gonna become someone big, so let's put this project to the side. And next thing you know, it becomes 1 month of not touching it, 2 months not touching it, and then it becomes 6 months. And this is detrimental to anyone who doesn't have that discipline, that mindset to keep on going forward. So in this video, I want to share with you how I was able to get out of that rut and not listening to negative people in order for me to achieve my goal and finish writing that book. It's because one day I had to ask myself, why do I need to finish writing this book? And that's because I was not just only prioritizing my writing journey first, but asking myself, how can I benefit by finishing this book? Am I writing this for the world? Am I doing this for my own fame, or am I doing this for my family, or what exactly is my dream? And when I finally got the answer, and my answer was doing this because I want to write a book so that my kids can read about it, and understanding my background as an immigrant coming to this country and still being able to come here with $0 and succeed in the end, 20-something years of living here. And so when I got that answer, it gives me this energy that I have to get this thing done. And so I told myself, I don't want to associate with negative energies anymore. So instead I reach out to people who already finished their book. Now, if you want to accomplish anything, reach out to people who had already achieved that goal, because they are going to share with you all of the obstacles that had happened to them. And so listening to the obstacles, at least it resonates with you what they had been through, so that you can imagine yourself that either this is what I will be facing, or when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, wait up, I had that happen to me before. And so now, based on the experience that person just shared with you, then you can learn to overcome it. So then I surrounded myself with positive people, many of these writers who had mental blocks, who had to struggle because they also had a full-time job, and how they designate certain time frames for them to write. And also even for themselves, not coming from a background of a writer. They were just like you and I, and they were able to overcome that hurdle of self-doubt and still write it anyway. So when I start talking to these people, it just changed my mentality overnight. I told myself that instead of just keep on writing, but I have to write in chunks. I have to do everything in chunks so that once I finish that chunk, I will feel more satisfied that I accomplished something for that day, or I accomplished something for that part of my goal. Because when you set a big goal, that's perfect. You want to have that one big goal, which is to finish the book, but then also you want to break down your goals in multiple chunks anyway. Because having these multiple chunks, every single time when you finish one, you just pat yourself on the back and reward yourself for doing such a great, phenomenal job, right? Because same thing as when you go to the gym, your goal is to become muscular, to build muscles throughout your entire body, but you're not gonna work out your entire body every single day. You wanna break it down that today I wanna work on my biceps, the next day work on my legs, and so forth, right? So that's the same thing with any kind of goal settings that you want, and that's exactly what I did for my book writing journey. I start writing chapter 1, what exactly that I want to focus on. Chapter 2, what is that I overcome in chapter 1 so that I can translate into chapter 2, right? So as I keep on doing that, and it didn't take long at all. It's all about how you build your habits within the first few weeks. And I would say the first 2 weeks, my mind was getting into the process of being disciplined, of reaching my goal and blocking out all the noise from negative people. No, don't get me wrong, you still have negative people who probably care for you too, but they just don't have the best intention as you do, right? They don't have the best intention of you wanting to finish this book. And so when they reach out, you just want to be courteous, you talk to them, you want to be polite, and you say, yes, I'm continuing to write my book. And hopefully, at the same time, my positive energy will translate to them so that they can be positive to get back onto their book and becoming an author. And so for weeks, when I programmed my mind of what I wanted to do, my body is incorporating this kind of mentality that it becomes a habit. So I found myself that after work, when I get home, after dinner, between 8 and 9 p.m., that's when I start to open up my laptop and start typing away. And throughout the typing process, that's when I get really immersed into this writing project. And after 6 months, I'm happy to say that I got it done, and my book got published actually 3 years ago, and it has been a dream come true. And so I want to share this video with you all, and that is, you got to program your mind before your mind get programmed. So whatever obstacles, whatever goals that you have, whatever dreams that you have, just go after it. Go after your dreams, go after your goals, and any obstacles that comes up, take a pause, breathe in, and then don't allow yourself to step back, because these obstacles are there for a reason. They are there to test you, to see how disciplined you are, to see how hungry you are for you to reach that goal that you really want to achieve for a very long time. Surround yourself with positive people, positive energy, and most of all is tell yourself the reason why you really want to finish this project. Please like and subscribe to my videos, and I will share stories in my upcoming videos with you all. Thank you.